The results of Taiwan's election are out, and the results are unexpected but reasonable. In the end, Lai Ching-te won. 1. Introduction to Taiwan's general election. First, let me introduce to you the situation of various political parties in Taiwan. Everyone must be familiar with the Kuomintang. After all, it established the Republic of China government, launched the Northern Expedition, and fought against the Japanese invaders. However, in the end, it was defeated by the Communist Party because it launched a civil war despite the opposition of all parties. Then there is the Democratic Progressive Party, whose full name is the Democratic Progressive Party. It was established in 1986. Because its party flag is green, it is called the Green Camp. In contrast, the Kuomintang was called the Blue Camp. In the past, Taiwan's political arena was dominated by these two major forces. The Taiwan People's Party, which has recently emerged as a new force, was founded by Taipei Mayor Ko Wenzhe in 2019. Ko Wenzhe's People's Party has attracted a large number of young people and Taiwanese who are dissatisfied with the blue and green camps, and has become the third force in Taiwan's political arena. They call themselves White Power. There is also a small dark green party, which can be understood as a party composed of extremists in the Democratic Progressive Party. That is the Power of the Times, which was established in 2015. The political power in Taiwan is basically like this. Taiwan's general election will officially begin voting on January 13, 2024, but the early canvassing of votes by all parties can be traced back to March last year. In April last year, the Democratic Progressive Party nominated Lai Ching-te to run as the 2024 Taiwan leader. Then Ko Wenzhe, Hou Yu, and Terry Gou announced their candidacy. According to polls at the time, the most likely winner was actually Lai Ching-te. So at that time, the Kuomintang and the People's Party formed a blue and white coalition and wanted to form a coalition government represented by Hou Yu and Ko Wenzhe. But in the end, the cooperation broke down because the conditions were not negotiated. The result of the breakdown of this cooperation is that both blue and white lose, and Lai Ching-te finally gains. Lai Ching-te's vote rate was 40.05%, Hou Yu's vote rate was 33.49%, and Ko Wenzhe's vote rate was 26.46%. It can be clearly seen that if the blue and white combination had not broken up, Lai Ching-te would not have been able to win. 2. Analysis of the reasons for the success of the DPP. In fact, the most critical reason is that the Kuomintang cannot support the wall. When it was in mainland China, it couldn't fight the Communist Party, but when it went to Taiwan, it was still a piece of shit. People like independent candidate Terry Gou, who quit the Kuomintang. As a major party, you cannot deal with the big names in your own party, causing him to leave in frustration, taking away the votes that represented him. What is this if not incompetence? Another key reason is that the blue and white combination broke the game. This must be blamed on Ko Wenzhe's camp being too greedy. The Kuomintang has actually given very good conditions. Hou Yu is the leader and Ko Wenzhe is the deputy. So what's wrong? Huang Shanshan, Ko Wenzhe's campaign director, created false polls to threaten the KMT. He insisted on forcing Ko Wenzhe to be the number one figure and Hou Yu to be his deputy. The final election result was clear. Hou Yu got 33.49%, while Ko Wenzhe got 26.46%. This is not at all the poll conducted by Huang Shanshan before, which showed Ko Wenzhe at 26.9% and Hou Yu at 26.4%. Therefore, these so-called politicians in Taiwan are extremely short-sighted politicians. What they do is just to pursue their own selfish interests and has nothing to do with the interests of the people. In other words, these politicians seek their own selfish interests under the guise of seeking benefits for the people without any foresight. In addition, this election result truly reflects the public opinion in Taiwan. People who want to be independent, especially young people, are becoming more and more in the majority. This can be clearly seen from the vote percentage. I think the mainland should prepare for this in advance. What I want to say here is that public opinion can actually be manipulated. It's very simple. You just need to provoke opposition and let the people automatically distinguish between themselves and their enemies. So no matter what evil or corrupt things one's own people do, it will not affect him from still voting for his own people. When you look at American elections, isn't that what it looks like? Believers in the Democratic Party will still vote for Biden even if they know that Biden is old and has dizzy eyes and diarrhea in his crotch. This is a drawback of the electoral democracy system. In the end, people can only distinguish between ourselves and the enemy, but cannot unite the vast majority. The former Deputy Secretary General of Singapore's National Security Council put it very well. Taiwan's elections, like those in the United States, are mainly about structural issues such as money, media, and identity. Even if the ruling party is corrupt, including Lai Ching-te's old house controversy, high-end vaccines, plagiarized papers, and private videos of candidates, etc., it is difficult to defend the solidified social structure. 3. Impact on the Taiwan Strait. First of all, this election result will have little impact on the mainland. In other words, the mainland does not care at all who comes to power in Taiwan. It does not care at all. The only thing the mainland is worried about is that the Democratic Progressive Party comes to power and there is the possibility of declaring independence. In this case, the mainland will be forced to interrupt its peaceful rise and unify by force before its military strength is fully guaranteed to defeat the United States. In fact, no matter who comes to power, as long as you don't declare independence, it will be the same to the mainland. The difference is that the impact on Taiwan is relatively large. For example, if the Kuomintang candidate is elected, the mainland will offer more benefits to Taiwan, and Taiwan's economy will develop better. If the DPP is in power, mainland China will only intensify economic and military pressure. This is why I think Taiwanese voters are irrational. I think this is also one of the biggest flaws of voting democracy. When this system was designed, one person, one vote and separation of powers looked very good, but these are all based on the premise that voters are rational. And we know that people are irrational, and rationality is the most precious and scarce talent of us humans. Lai Ching-te's coming to power will actually have a huge impact on Taiwan's future, because this result means that the mainland has no way to ease relations with Taiwan, and continued military, economic, and political suppression in the future is certain. This will deepen the hostility between the people on both sides of the Taiwan Strait and mainland China, leading to a vicious spiral, which means bad news for the Chinese nation. Of course, unless the DPP declares independence, I don't think mainland China will use force to unify. The current situation is that most people in Taiwan are unwilling to reunify because the mainland's political system is not attractive to Taiwanese people. But if one day, China is so powerful that it controls the world's public opinion, maybe these Taiwanese people will feel that China's system is the most perfect system. They always feel that people in mainland China have been brainwashed, so why aren't they themselves brainwashed? In fact, Taiwan negotiated the terms of reunification with the mainland 10 years ago and would have received a very good price. You can negotiate any outrageous conditions, as long as you consider yourself Chinese. But instead you don't even have the courage to identify yourself as Chinese. 10 years later, the only way left is to be forced to unify by the mainland, and it has also lost the ability to influence mainland politics. I saw an interview where a girl was interviewed by Wang Xian and claimed that she didn't care about China at all and didn't care what the Chinese people thought. This kind of naivety is just like the Hong Kong youths who took to the streets to protest, completely ignoring reality. They keep saying they want democracy, but they don't know that the essence of democracy is compromise. They insist that the Hong Kong government fully agree to their so-called 5 major demands. I want to emphasize here that academic qualifications do not represent ability, and knowledge does not represent wisdom. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many people with master's degrees and doctorates joining Falun Gong. Otherwise, any person in the 21st century is wiser than Lao Tzu and Socrates. The size of the mainland is here. No matter what system it is, as long as there is no civil strife, it will continue to grow and grow in strength. You said that no matter what happens to mainland China, Taiwan will do the same. This is actually a very naive manifestation, and it is also one of the drawbacks of electoral democracy. The reality is cruel, whether young people in Taiwan want independence or reunification. In fact, it does not depend on Taiwan itself at all. Rather, it depends on the balance of power between China and the United States. This is the tragedy of being a chess piece. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks.